When was the last time you took a leap of faith, trusting that everything is going to work out? Do you crave growth, or are you merely content with the status quo? If you want more out of your life, out of your career, and out of your relationships, you are in the right place. Take the leap and discover how to create a life by design rather than living it by default. Real success starts with you. Now here's your host, Colleen Biggs.
Hello, listeners, and welcome back to another episode of Take the Leap with Colleen Biggs. Of course, that is me, your host, and I'm super excited on this episode today to jump right into Unbeatable Mindset. You're going to meet a phenomenal, fantastic lady who has an unbeatable mindset. And you will understand that when we jump into this. But don't forget, for the month of April, I turned 50. It has been the most amazing month of my life. We are still running specials for our Leap community at $50 off and a free month. So join over there. Check out how you can be seen, be heard, and be visible in the Leap community. And you can join us at ColleenBiggs.net. That's ColleenBiggs.net. Let me introduce our guest that we have today, Miss Patty Patricia Daggett. Is that how you say your last name, Patty? I never even really asked you.
Yes, it's pronounced Daggett, and I go by Patty.
Yes. Yeah. So Patty Daggett. So what I know about her, I'm not even going to get into yet. We'll get into that in a minute. But she's a dynamic overachiever and top performing sales leader who is resilient to change. Very important that we remember that. She's resilient to change. She has 18 years in corporate technology and channel sales. She's been a single mom for 16 years and raised 4 kids on her own. She is a 2-time cancer survivor of multiple myeloma. In 2017, she endured a stem cell transplant in Houston during Hurricane Harvey. Can you imagine during the hurricane having to go through that? And she's a mentor and transformational life coach to underprivileged women in need and the founder of Women Transformed. Patty, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Colleen. I am so humbled and honored to be on your podcast today.
You have accomplished so much in a short amount of time, but just reading that about you and being a single mother and surviving cancer and now thriving past cancer and doing the stem cell transplant, there's just no stopping you. That is why I named today's episode Unbeatable Mindset, because don't you believe that everything you've ever been able to accomplish has really come down to your belief in what you thought was possible?
Absolutely. 100%. I mean, if you don't have a positive mindset when you're undergoing cancer or other things in your life, you go down a really deep, dark rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And so, basically, with me, I thought my whole purpose in life was raising my kids. That was my whole life from the time I got up in the morning till the time I went to bed. And 28 years of raising kids was my purpose. And literally overnight, I quickly realized that once they moved on and graduated, my purpose was gone. I had nothing. And on top of that, I had just been diagnosed with a terminal blood cancer. So you can imagine what I went through and what I felt like. I thought it was the end. I had no purpose anymore. I was dying of cancer. They only gave me 2 years to live. And I thought, this is it for me.
Yeah. I felt the same way when I was raising my children. And I remember Oprah Winfrey was interviewing a mom at the time, and I can't remember which actress it was. And I'll never forget this, because it was the words that she said, not who was on the screen. She said, our children pass through our lives. They should never become our lives. And in that moment, I thought to myself, first of all, who is she? Obviously, she can't be a good mom. That was my first thought. But then I sat there and I really thought about that title. And I said, they do pass through our lives, meaning that if they become our lives, then we have nothing when they're gone. Exactly what you just said. And how many moms out there are listening to this today where your children became your life and they consumed every inch of it, to the point where, for me, Patty, when my children left, I was still listening to music that they liked, still shopping at stores that I used to take them to shop in. And I remember eating fish sticks one day, and I was like, I don't even like fish sticks. Why am I eating these? And I didn't know what color I liked, what food I liked, what my hobbies were, because everything I did consumed my kids. Did you feel that way raising yours?
Absolutely. I had no other life but my kids. I breathed and lived them and for their purpose every day. And when I got diagnosed, I found myself alone, all alone with cancer and with no kids. And it was a very, very dark time.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's talk about how you were able to change your mindset during that time, because I want everyone to know the goal is to become unbreakable, unshakable, right? Unbeatable, unstoppable, but we're not always there. We're always building. And when we get to the next level, then we feel a little shooken, and then we need to build it again. So what was it like, going through that experience for you feeling alone?
It was horrible. I mean, my kids don't even know this. People that know me don't even know this because they see me as this rock, right? But I cried. There were bad thoughts that I had in my head. Like, I didn't have anything to live for anymore. My purpose was completely gone. And I started journaling on my multiple myeloma Facebook page. And I had a lot of, people tell me, why are you doing that? Why are you putting your cancer out there? You shouldn't be talking about that. But what I quickly found was I became an encouragement to other people that were going through multiple myeloma. Journaling my whole stem cell transplant in Houston and Hurricane Harvey hitting during the process, when my doctor was trying to bring my stem cells to the hospital and he had to wade through chest high water to get my stem cells back to me. My kids didn't even make it there. I was left all alone, and it was a very dark time. But what I found by journaling and people sending me all these messages through my multiple myeloma Facebook page is I started feeling inspired, and I was able to shift my mindset. And so what did I do? I basically turned my pain into my purpose. And to this day, I still have people that kind of shun me about my story, but it doesn't stop me, because I know that there's women out there that have been through similar situations where they were all alone and they had no support system. And that's why I took the leap, Colleen. I took the leap because I knew that I had another purpose now. And this purpose was to help and serve women.
Yeah. I mean, you and I have had a lot of time to talk and spend time together. And I've told you this over and over again in this part of your life that you're in now, and serving underprivileged women, and how much they need your guidance and your love and your leadership that you can provide them. And I'm so glad that you share these stories. And I hope everyone's listening to what Patty is saying, because we build strength off of others when we've seen them do it. The 4-minute mile was said it could never be broken. In fact, doctors said your heart would explode if you got to a 4-minute mile. So no one dared to do it. And then, when it got broken, so many other people saw it was possible, and then followed right behind to break that 4-minute mile. And unless we're out there sharing our stories, unless we're out there sharing our struggles and what we're going through, how can we get the support that we need and deserve? How do we share that? How are we sharing with other women that they too can beat this, that they too can thrive through cancer and it not be the end of their life? It must be shared.
Absolutely. And one of the biggest things I had to do was advocate for myself during this process, because I had nobody else to advocate for me.
Yeah.
They gave me 2 years to live, and that was it. And I sat there in the hospital, on infusion treatment, 6 hours a week, thinking to myself, there has to be other women out there that are feeling alone and going through something alone. And I have to figure out a way to create a support system for them.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. And that's how I shifted my mindset and got out of that dark rabbit hole.
Yeah. And this is your journey. We don't always know. I would say most of us get to the age that we're at now, right? 40s, 50s, 60s, before we truly realize what our purpose is and why God placed us on this earth. And yes, being a top performer and leader in sales has offered you the opportunity to pay for your current lifestyle and then provide, what you needed to build this business of Women Transformed for the women that need the guidance. And I want to ask you the question, why did you decide to work with underprivileged women?
Because I was underprivileged at one time in my life. I got pregnant when I was 16. I had 4 kids by the time I was 19. Actually 20, I'm sorry. And it was a very trying time for me. I had no support from my family. I had to figure out how to raise all these kids on my own. And it was brutal. Mm-hmm. Every breath that I took, everything that I did for them. And I moved from Tucson to Phoenix 18 years ago. And I had to get out of that city because I realized that it held me back. And I wanted more for my kids. I wanted them to have a good education. I wanted to have better opportunity for myself. And had I not done that, I don't know where me and my kids would be today.
Yeah, you took the leap and you made the move. And how many of you out there feel stuck in something that you're doing, or maybe it's a job and you're really not happy there and you really want to get out, or you're not happy where you're living, you're not happy in the relationship that you're in, or how much money you're making. And Patty is sharing very clearly today to all of you that you have a choice. It is not enough to say, I'm not happy with this. It's not enough to say that. You must take action, no matter what that action is, to change the current details of your life. And
don't wait.
Do
it now.
Right.
Don't wait. The clock is ticking. And, Colleen, I was in a very domestic violent relationship, early on in my life. And that was the other reason why I decided to help underprivileged women, because I thought, my God, there's so many women out there that are victims of human trafficking. And that's where I started. I started outreach to victims that were human trafficking. And I started quickly realizing that I was making an impact. Mm-hmm. I never knew. I just showed up with a notebook and a piece of paper to this, Phoenix Dream Center with all these women. And all of a sudden, every week, there were more of them lining up at my door. And all they needed was somebody they could trust, somebody that they could talk to. So that's why I decided to start working with underprivileged women. And I hosted my first retreat last year. And I was kind of, leery about how it was going to turn out. I really didn't have too much of a game plan. And we had about 16 women there. And I'm telling you, it was the best thing I ever did. And we've got another one coming up here at the end of this month in Munns Park, Arizona. And I'm so excited because we're going to have 20 women there now.
Yeah. So talk to us about the first retreat. You put this on not knowing anything about how to throw a retreat, what to do, activities, and you took on the whole breadth of the cost of this retreat. Talk to me about how you opened it up and what your hope was and what you wanted to bring to the women.
My hope was healing. That was my number one goal for this retreat, was to have women heal from all the trauma that they've been through all their lives. Because most of us, like you and me, Colleen, we put on this pretty face every day, but yet we have all these tragedies and the world blowing up behind us. And, we don't have healing. We absorb that all. And it's so important for women to get healing. And I can tell you, one of the best ways that I've seen this happen is through community, a community that you can trust. Because we had these women at this retreat and every single one of them opened up, except for one particular woman. And on the last day, we were starting to pack up, and she stepped up and she said, "Wait, I can't leave. I need to tell my story." And I'm telling you, I have goosebumps right now, because every woman in that audience was crying, and we could see the weight being lifted off this woman, 40 years of trauma that she had dealt with.
Yeah. And what you're sharing with me is exactly why, you know, the LEAP community exists and why your community exists, is so that we can share our stories, so we can voice those, right? We can cleanse the healing, we can get it out and get the support that we need from other people to work through it, because someone else has already worked through it ahead of us. So why do we want to linger in the pain when we do have choices and we can move to that next level? I know you're doing several retreats. So you have another one coming up in September, and
I do.
yeah. Yeah. So you have several of them coming up, and we'll give them links here in a moment for them to be able to go to your website and see everything that you have going on, especially if anyone is not in the Arizona area. You could fly in. Phoenix is a major hub, easy to get to for you to attend these retreats. If you're a female out there looking for this support, struggling with something you don't know how to get through, pain that you've been carrying around, and because I've been exactly where Patty was in, very bad situations growing up as a child where there was abuse, in boyfriends, and in dating people where there was abuse. If you're meant for more and you're struggling with pain right now and need the support of other women. But Patty, you support them in so many other ways. You don't just support them in retreats. So talk to me about some of the other ways online that you support women.
Yeah, so initially I started a company a couple years ago called Patty's Tribe, and I decided to do away with my name because I didn't want it to be about me. Mm-hmm. I wanted it to be about other women. And so what I did was I started a Facebook page called Women Transformed. I started a private Facebook group. It's been growing. I've got a local meetup group here now. But one of the things that I've really been focused on is outreach. How do we reach other women in other communities to help them with retreats and support that they need? So what I did was I decided to create a mobile app. And so this mobile app is available on the Android store and the iOS store for Apple. And what I did was I actually offered pep talks as part of the package of this Women Transformed app. And these pep talks are unlimited. You download the app, you get them for free, and you book time on my calendar. And so I thought I would test it out. And lo and behold, right after I launched my app, a few days later, I received a Calendly link for a woman in Washington, D.C. who found my app. And I was just blown away. I called my director of empowerment, Melly Tioni, and said, "Oh my gosh, it's working." And so what happened was I was a little weirded out at first because I didn't really think it through too much. And I thought, well, what if this is some guy that downloaded my app and he wants to get on video with me, right? So women are always thinking ahead. And so I got on the app, and here's this woman talking to me. And I said, "How did you find my app?" And she said, I looked in the Apple store and I Googled mental health, and I typed in mental health and women, and I found your app. She said, and there were so many in there, but I really wanted to be part of your community because it looked really cool. And I said, "Oh my God." I said, "Where are you?" And she said, "I'm in Washington, D.C. And my heart dropped. And I said, "Let me put you on camera." And so we got on camera together, and tears were running down her face. And she said, "All I needed was to see another woman smiling back at me today." She said, "You have no idea how much this helped me." And she's booked pep talks continuously with me since.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's all it takes, is just that one step. And so for all of you listening today, we have to stop shrinking back and playing small and not playing full out. Because if Patty would have decided to allow cancer to keep her small, then she would just go to her job and she would come home and then she would deal with her cancer. And instead, she decided this isn't going to beat me. I'm going to thrive through this experience. I'm going to share this experience with other women. Now I'm going to help other women heal by creating retreats. And I have an app that I created so they can reach out and connect with each other through the app. They can also connect with me through the app to get these pep talks. And this is what community is about. We are so much stronger in numbers, Patty. And I'm blown away by what you've created for other women to be supported. And this is just a great platform. I mean, an app is on their phone. Everyone has a phone. It goes everywhere with them. I mean, even if you're underprivileged, you have a phone. Everyone I know has a phone. It's the number one thing that they pay for before clothes, is a phone. and and you've just created this opportunity for women to give themselves permission to heal.
Yeah, and it's funny because the lady that booked the pep talk with me, she said your app is only $12.99 a month. She's like, I would do this all day just to have time with you and talk to you and have this type of healing over the phone.
Yeah.
And it's true. I mean, sometimes women tend to take everything on their own, right? And we never talk to other women and we just keep it all inside. But it is a community, Colleen, exactly what you're doing with your leap and teaching women to take that leap, right? That leap of faith in their business, because you can do it no matter what you're facing in life. You have the opportunity to make a difference.
We had a woman that is very reserved, very closed off. She doesn't really attend a lot of networking events. She's a yoga teacher online. And one of my clients invited her to the big party that we had for my birthday on April 7th. And the first Thursday of every month, for those of you listening, we do a big networking event that's worldwide. So we have a lot of women come. And that's the first Thursday of the month. You can go to ColleenBiggs.net and find out about all that information. We'd love for you to join us on Meetup as well, Leap for Ladies. So we're Leap for Ladies over at Meetup. You can join us over there. And so we do this networking event. And I always start with a dance party for the first 10 minutes, before we start at the top of the hour at noon Pacific Standard. But then I decided this day I was going to play one specific song and invite all of the ladies to get up and dance with me for the first 3 minutes of our networking event, because it was my birthday party and I could do whatever I wanted, right? So we sang, and danced to Carrie Underwood's I Am a Champion. And I watched her just move around, and she was up dancing and moving around, and just eloquently moving. And I had asked her friend Melissa that invited her what her feedback was. And she said, I don't normally go to these types of events, but she felt so accepted, so comfortable. The energy was so high. And she thought that the other women really accepted her for who she was. And that is the communities that we need to be creating without judgment, without expectation. Just come and be yourself. Have fun. Move the way you want to move. Say what you want to say when you go into breakout rooms. Meet a friend or sales pitch yourself, whatever it is that you want to do. Come and just meet someone new, because it's through collaborations like the collaboration you and I have now, Patty. Through the collaborations, this is how we are able to rise higher. This is how we're able to create more confidence for ourselves, that we're able to create more opportunity for ourselves, and that we're able to really feel the love and support that we have.
Absolutely. And each of us is unique. We don't have to try to be like someone else. I don't want anybody to ever try to be like me. We want to empower you to be yourself and find your own purpose, because there's women out there that need you. Because Colleen can't do it all. I can't do it all. There are millions of women out there that need help.
Yeah, millions. And we'll never reach all of them. Our goal is to reach as many as possible and to leave a legacy. And I know that now that Patty is on her way, her goal is to also leave a legacy. And on the way, her goal is to inspire change in others. I inspire change in Patty. She inspires change in others. It just keeps going, right? Other people have inspired change in me. Patty's inspired change in me. So our goal is to inspire change in others. And we can't do that if we're playing small. We can't do that if we're not really leaning into our fullest purpose and reaching our peak performance, the peak potential of what we have to give. And we're not even there, right, Patty?
No. And,
No.
sometimes it's easy to give up, during the
Yeah.
process, and the one thing that I can tell women is keep going, don't give up. If you have a moment, cry about it, do whatever you have to do to get it out of your system, join a community like ours so we can help support you through it, but move on because God created a purpose for everyone. And you have a purpose, and Colleen's going to help you with that. I'm going to help you with that.
Yeah.
But you need to stop thinking small.
Yeah.
Think big, because it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's true. And we talk about that, I think, on every show. If you're vibrating at a lower level, meaning that things are happening to you, you feel sorry for yourself, you're literally sending out invitations to your pity party, right? Because it's going on for a long, long, long time. The universe must return back to you everything that validates that. So people, places, things, and events have to vibrate at that level to validate. So imagine if you changed your thinking, just like Patty did and like I did. And we really focused on vibrating at a higher level and keeping that positivity and being someone who's a beacon of light for other people. And our actions show it. Everything we do show it. The universe must return to us the validation of people, places, things, and events at that level. So you want to change. Don't be sending out invites to pity parties, have it, cry it out, cleanse it, and then move on. We all have bad days, right? And I know people say, well, it's easy for you to say, well, let me tell you right now, Patty and I have been through a lot. Patty is still going through cancer, and she's going through treatments, and it's not over, but she won't give up because she's not going to give up on you. So Patty, what is one of the best ways, would you say? We have your Facebook link, we have your app link. What is the best way for someone who's listening to this to get into your community? And I know you have an offer for them as well.
Yes. So there's a milkshake link, and that link actually has all the links to our other, our Facebook group, our Facebook business page. It has a link to download our app, our meetup group, all of it, everything that you need. And I would love to offer the women of your group, Colleen, a free month membership to my Women Transformed app.
Awesome.
So make sure that you guys download the app, look for Women Transformed in the Apple Store or the Android store, go download it. You get 7 days free. And then 30 days after that, we will go ahead and let you in for free for 30 days.
That's an awesome gift, you guys.
Yeah, and we have a lot of really cool stuff in the app too. It's not just, the pep talks. We have self-care tips. You can track your mental health and your self-care in the app. You can also register for our retreats in the app. There's so much in there. There's membership rewards, so you can earn merchandise towards Women Transformed merchandise. So a lot of cool things. And we highlight women-owned businesses in the app as well.
That's wonderful. So all of you go download that app for sure. I mean, why not? You get a free month. So go ahead and download the app, and Patty will take care of that for you on the back end. And then go join her Facebook group as well. And it's called Patty's Multiple Myeloma Journey. And we'll have that link right there for all of you, just right there at your fingertips. You'll be able to click on it. If you're watching this on Facebook, the day live that we record this, it'll be right there in the description. So you guys can click on that as well. And Patty, it was just super amazing having you here today. You're such a beautiful soul and someone that is a beacon of light for other women. And just your heart is so open, and you share and care so much. What is the last message that you want to leave with all of the women that are listening today?
Don't give up. Keep going and don't give up. Don't sit there and feel sorry for yourself and play the victim when things are going on in your life. Don't be ashamed. We have a group and a community. Colleen's got a community, an awesome community. And we have ways to help you with your mental health and anxiety and depression. We are here for you. And Colleen, I just want to say I am just really blessed and honored again to have even met you and to be here on your podcast today. And I just really want to thank you for being part of my life.
Yes. Thank you, Patty. You've given me all the same in return. And I don't think everyone realizes how much when we're in service of other people that we get so much back, 10 times more. So thank you, Patty, as well. And ladies, you heard it from her. Never give up. And remember, you're the only you that's ever been. You're the only you that will ever be. You can't put on a face of someone else. Everyone's already taken. So to build that unbeatable mindset, you need support. So find the support, find the tribe, check out Patty's tribe. She is absolutely phenomenal, and she is there for any woman that is in need. So Patty, again, thank you for joining us today. Ladies, until next time, thank you for joining us. And before we get there, just remember, be you and be strong. See you next time. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on this journey of self-discovery, where you learned the tools to create a life by design. Remember, you are the only you there is, and you are the only you that will ever be. Be you and be strong, because you are brilliant, and the world needs you at your best. We cannot wait for you to join us again next time.